So we left that up. Today we discuss with the NC part programming for lathe machine and milling machine. Okay. And we will see the simulation and writing the part program in CNC simulator and NC viewer. And you can in the meantime also explore with FreeCAD. FreeCAD also provide the facility to generate the tool path. Okay. So let us start with the process planning and flow chart for the part programming. So like part programming is just not only the to write the G&M code, but first to plan everything. Let me put this video here. So initially when we start with the right to the part program to run the CNC machine, we need to first have the process plan ready. Means we need to plan which process,
Excuse me, sir.
process
Sir,
sequence, etc. Like this. See?
excuse me, sir.
Sir, Rachit is waiting in the lobby.
Okay. Okay, admit it. Okay, so come with the process. You can see the presentation screen.
Yes, sir.
So we begin with the process planning. Like you see the operation number 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 like that. Okay. Then you can have the facing operation, rough turning, finish turning, or grooving, threading, boring cycle, whatever. Right. Then we can also plan in which operation, which tool we are going to use. Right. Then we can also calculate the cutting speed or RPM or what is the feed required. Right. And like coolant should be on or off or something like that. That all will go to the process planning, right? Once we come out with this kind of process plan, process chart ready, then the second thing is for the access selection on the machine itself, right? Which dimension of the part would be along the x-axis, along y-axis, or along z-axis, depending on lathe machine and milling machine, right? So say for example, this is the workpiece, right? So you will decide, okay, this is going to the diameter, or suppose it is a prismatic part, cubical part, like so you can decide like this. Okay, this dimension I am going for take to z-axis, this dimension I am going along with the y-axis, or this dimension I will take to the x-axis. So means you are just trying to align your workpiece with the axis of the dimensions, right? Then you are going to select the tool for various operations. Like in this table, you see the bottom you have picked up, right? These kind of tool. These tool are the predefined. Here you are mentioning just number, but you should know the facing tool, turning tool, or drilling tool, or what kind of tool, right? This you are taking. Then you go for the cutting process parameters planning like this. What is the cutting speed you are going to take, right? Feed you are going to select for which operation. So each operations you have to decide. Then job and tool setup planning. Then machining path planning. We will again come back to detail in this, right? Then you will write the part program. So here objective is to write the part program, but what you started before writing the part program, you started with the process planning, access selection, tool selection, parameters, job and tool setup planning, and then you plan the path. Means suppose this is the workpiece from where you are going to cut this part. Suppose this is tool and this is for lathe machine. This is the center line and here you mark the data. So this is the machine 0. We will come again detail on the machine 0, work 0, tool 0. Right? Then you plan this tool will come to this point, go down and then cut the material in this way. So this much material is going to remove from both sides, right? So this is the lathe machine workpiece. So workpiece will be rotating and your tool is stationary, right? And then once you write the part program, then you fabricate first part, and then again measure all the dimensions and check whether your part program is correct or not, if there is any mistake. So in between also we have the lot of processes like dry run, simulation. Then we cut the actual part and measure it, so that we will know due to load or deflection or temperature, there should not be any deviation in the tool or machine guide beds, etc. So because these things will lead to the mismatch in the dimension, right? Now see the process flow. We start with the study of the part print. Means suppose we have a drawing of the workpiece, two-dimensional drawing. So we will try to imagine and understand uh, what this part actually, visualize that part. Then you need to identify the machine tool, which machine tool you are going to take this part, right? So first thing, it's a prismatic part, take to the milling part. It's a cylindrical part, take to the lathe machine. And then suppose you have 5 or 6 machines on your workshop, lathe machine or milling machine. So depending on the precision, accuracy, power requirement, availability of the tool and the machine availability, so you will go to the machine tool database, and based on the availability you are going to select or identify the machine tool, right? Once you identify the machine tool, then you are going to identify the operations and tooling. So that ways you require the cutting tool database. Means suppose you need to do the boring or drilling. So what is the depth of the hole? Then accordingly you need to select this tool from the database, right? Which drilling tool is required, which diameter tool is required, number of flutes required. Okay. So here the cutting tool database will help us to select the desired tool, right? And you need to also consider the capability of cutting tools. Means this much power is required, whether this tool can bear or not, right? Or heat generated, or the chip generated. Okay. Then based on the selection of machine, based on the selection of tool, we will need to determine feed, speed, depth, power, right? So here the machinability database will come into picture. Okay. Then you go for the setup sheet with work, setting and tooling assembly, right? Where you are going to mount workpiece and what should be the datum, how far it is from the different axes. You are putting it in the center of the table or one of the corner of the table, right? Then you start writing the part program. Right? Once you start writing the part program, then you need to simulate the tool path, right? And if there is any discrepancy in the simulation, then you need to go back to the part program or go back to the setup sheet. Then once you simulate the part program, then dry run. Dry run means either we remove the tool, either we remove the workpiece and run the actual machine. So whether your part program is supplying correct instructions to the machine or not, right? That we will check. So it's known as the dry run. Means you are not actually cutting the part, but machine will be running. And simulation means this is completely on the computer simulation. You are not at all running the machine, right? So simulation, dry run, then we will cut the first part, right? So this flow chart you need to draw. You need to understand, and you may be asked to draw this flow chart, right? Then you go for cutting up the first part. Once you cut the first part, then comes the inspection. Inspect the part, and if its parts dimensions are as per the requirement, as per the desired dimensions, then we can finally say this part is okay. So if there is any mismatch in the dimension, then we need to go back to the feed, speed, depth calculation. Might be you are providing too much high depth of cut, so built up edge is formulated, surface finish is poor, heat generated, the burning of the surface might be occurring, right? So after inspection, then you will see. Then if there is everything okay in the inspection, then we have this proven part, right? Once first part is proven, then we can save this part program for future use, right? So that is the meaning of the proven part program, right? Now see, if you have any question in this, you can ask at this moment. No? Any response from anyone?
Sir, will there be any guidance from the software in tool selection or process parameter selection, or we should do that manually?
No. That is that you can develop your own understanding, that suppose I am taking this much depth of cut. Even in the software, you can find out the feature recognition. So the software itself can tell you that what is the hole size. So you can use this drill. Clear? But that is not available all the time with all the softwares. That as a manufacturing engineer, we should be able to decide, are able to calculate what is the chip size I am taking, and if it is the chip size, how much power it is required. I am using this aluminium or mild steel or cast iron or SS or brass. So for this much chip removal, how much cutting force I should have, right? This in some other course you might have certainly studied. What is the cutting force is occurring? According to the cutting force, you have to find out this speed, feed, depth, and accordingly you have to select the tool from the available tools, right? So
Okay.
this I will again show you in the, and then in some of the software you have to define your own tool, right? I will show you this in the CNC simulator little later. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then you come for the first thing, the path planning, right? So you see here, suppose for example this is half part is drawn here, right? Cylindrical part, right? So let us make it like this. Right? This is the symbol for the datum. Whenever you start writing the part program, you should give this datum. That means for this particular part, it is the 0, 0, right? And if it is a lathe machine, we have already discussed, this will be the Z axis, this will be the X axis, right? And for X axis, in case of lathe machine, we can do the radial programming and diameter programming. So in diameter programming, we always mention the diameter, and in radial programming, we always mention the radius, right? So that we need to check in the CNC simulator. Now like, look at this, we can plan like this. This is the tool. So this much portion or turning has to be done. So you can say the first cut, second cut, third cut, fourth cut like this, fifth cut, right? Sixth cut, and this you may see the finishing allows we can leave left, right? Some material. So in final cut, the finishing cut will come like this, and tool your will move like this outside, right? So this is the finishing cut. Okay. So this planning we have to done, right? Suppose this diameter is 40, this diameter is 20. So that means this diameter I have taken. Okay. So this is the 20 diameter up to this part. This is the 40 diameter. So this radius would be 20, this 10, this much is 10 millimeter. Suppose I take the unit 10 millimeter. So now you decide, suppose you want to remove this material in 5 cut, then 1 cut is for 2 millimeter, right? Similarly, this is for taper cut. You can see this is the finish cut. Finishing allowance you leave, right? And your path planning may be like this. You can have the straight cut like this, or else you can also remove material like this every time in the taper cut. Clear? So depending on the requirement, power requirement, surface finish requirement, etc., you need to plan this path. And you may require some optimization also, which will give you the shortest time in that case, right? So you two examples I have taken here. You see some more. Look at this. This is the part. This may be a question for you, right? So from here you onward say the evaluation second part. Suppose this is the question may be allotted to some of you. right? Then you need to show me the path plan on your notebook, how you are planning a path. Say for example, this workpiece, you see all the dimensions are mentioned. So first thing you need to fix the datum for the workpiece, right? So your part program should be like this. Can anybody notice where is the datum?
The central axis
Central axis near is where?
towards the right end.
Clear? This is the datum, right? And now you see here, this is the one diameter, the diameters are given, then distances are given, right? So you can plan like this, okay, this much material to be removed. Clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then now finishing allowance has been taken. So you see this much finishing allowance. Clear? Right? Now for simple turning, you see this is the first cut. So your tool is somewhere here. Now you are moving to this point and then cut this. Up, going back. In 4 steps, the first cut is taken. Then the second cut. Right? Third cut. Fourth cut. And this is the fifth cut, and in the sixth cut will be the finishing cut. So it will follow the circular interpolation, clockwise, anti-clockwise both. Clear? In this way it is going to remove. So we need to identify, sometimes this dimension may not be in the cumulative manner. So you need to identify the exact dimensions, right? And distances. Look at this, how we do. Say the first cut. See the first cut. Now you require all the dimensions. Look at this. See here, your tool will start from here, right? Then you are going down, right? And this would be the Z is 0, right? Okay, and this is the X. So you put up the, here the dimensions in reverse order. First they put the Z. So you see Z, and X is 17.75. Can you see here? This is the point. The first cut. No, sorry. 14.
It will be at the top.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. 14.5. Just let us see. This is the first cut. Okay. So from here, this point calculation is done. Clear? So if it is a radius programming, then this total diameter is, you see here, 35.5. Clear? Up to this point, and up to this point you have the 40. So this top point will be 20 radius. Clear? And this point, how much cut you decide, you can take. So you see here, this portion. This they have taken 2.25, first depth of cut. Can you see it? This is 2.25. Clear? So at this, the radius is 20 minus 2.25. You are reaching to 17.75. Clear? So this start point is the 17.75. Clear? And then tool will moving in this direction. Clear? So where it will reach up to this point. Clear? And here the Z equal to 0. And it is reaching to this point. So you just try to check this point. This is the point. Clear?
Hello, hello.
Yes, Arnav.
Sir, y-axis is the depth of my screen.
No. Because when you take the lathe machine, in the very first or second class, we have discussed the axis system. For lathe machine, we follow two axes, x-axis and z-axis. And for milling machine, we follow three axes, x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Right?
Okay.
For lathe machine, only two axes. Okay, I will give me some time. I will
Sir,
show you another
more
video
question.
so you will understand.
One more question. Sir, what is this 3 into 45 degree
Where?
in the left figure? Yes.
45 degree and 3 mm. This is the dimensioning. You see, we are
Okay.
including everything in this course. Okay, so this is
Okay,
3 in this direction, 3 in this direction, this 3 by 3, right? and then 45. So it's a the way of dimensioning. Okay. Now
Sir,
look at this. First you calculate this point and then say first step, the second step, third step, fourth step, even though these are the same. So Z will be remain same, but your X dimension will keep on changing. And then finally this. Clear? So you see here the first cut, the second cut, the third cut, the fourth cut, the fifth cut, right? And then you come to the sixth cut. Right? So sixth cut is this the finishing cut. So your tool will reach to this point, follow this line, circular interpolation up to this point, फिर again straight cut, circular interpolation, straight cut, circular interpolation. So this much is the finishing allowance, right? So it will remove and then finally you will reach this part. Got it? So this is the path planning we have to do, right? And then this is the case for the turning operations, right? Now suppose pocket machining you are doing in the milling machine. Then again you have to decide which path you are following. Well, you are following this path, the cycloidal path, or the straight cut with certain angles, right? Zigzag pattern. Clear? So according to this, our task before writing the part program, we should know the coordinate of these points. Clear? So when I ask you to do the part programming or CNC machine programming, the meaning of that CNC machine programming is to identify these coordinates. So basically it's a coordinate geometry, right? Okay. Yes, somebody raised the hand. Yeah, please. Arun.
Yes, sir. In the dimensioning, the finish allowance is standard as 1 mm in all.
No, not required. Anything, anywhere, whatever is up to your requirement, you can say. You can say the finishing allowance 1 millimeter, 0.1 millimeter, even 0.5 millimeter or 0.05 millimeter, depending on the requirement or the precision you have. Okay, so there is no such rule for finishing allowance, right? Even people are using finishing allowance on the machine itself as a depth of cut. Say for example, let me tell you. Say for example, this is the workpiece, right? This is the pocket to be cut, for example, and you have this is the workpiece. Is it okay? Workpiece and the pocket. So this much material is to be removed, right? Clear? Now let me say for example, this is 10 millimeter. Okay. And I have a 20 dia tool. I have a 10 dia tool and I have a 5 dia tool. Right? So what I can do for my programming, if I run this 20 dia tool, clear, on this path, what will happen? The required material will be removed. Okay. So I will tell to my machine that I am using this 20 dia tool, but actually I will use this 10 dia tool. So what is going to happen if I put a 10 dia tool over here? What is going to happen? This total is 10 millimeter. This will remove my 5 millimeter material, and 5 millimeter material will remain there as a finishing allowance. Even though I have not mentioned anywhere the finishing allowance, but what I did, I set all the allowances on the machine for 20 mm dia tool, but actually using 10 dia tool. Right? So there is nothing like finishing allowance kitna dena hai. That is on our own. Right?
Oh,
so that we have to select based on the workpiece and surface finish required. Right? Because I assume that other material related parameters like built up edges, heating, deflection of the spindle, etc. You know. Here just we are writing the code on the CNC machine, coordinate geometry, but that entirely depending on our previous knowledge, right? So look at this. Shall we move ahead, Arun?
Sir,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
hello.
Yes, sir. No.
Sir, while making this pocket, 10 mm tool will completely remove the material, right? 10 mm dia.
if you 10 mm dia, if it 10 mm dia move on this side, right? Clear? But this here the total distance is 10 millimeter, right? So 10 mm dia will follow this path, right? So what it will do, 5 mm on this side and 5 mm on this side. So it will remove only 5 millimeter material, right? This we again take. You remember I told you the code G41. Anyone can tell what is that G41 and G42? Cutter radius compensation, left or right? You remember or forget? Do you remember G40, 41? No? Arnav?
Yes, sir, but you have told that, but at present I can't remember.
Okay, just leave it. We will again come back this aspect. Okay, this we will again start along with the milling. Okay, when we talk about the milling operations, then we will again take up this. Okay, just let move to the basic elements of the programming for both turning and milling, right? Fixed zero, floating zero, absolute and incremental programming, radius, diameter programming, and then G&M codes, interpolations, linear circular interpolations, one by one. See, first is the fixed zero, right? Fixed zero means the origin will always be located at the same position on the machine table, right? Usually the position is the southwest or lower left corner, right? So we cannot change the 0 on the machine, right? This become very inconvenient for the programmer, because in that case, every time whatever the program we write, but our workpiece should be in the exact location. So if it is a medium or the middle level, medium volume kind of production, there is no problem. We can put a jig and fixtures plate on the CNC machine, and then every workpiece will be mounted on the same location, right? But a job shop kind of thing, once in a while kind of thing, we want to fix our 0 on the workpiece, not on the machine. Clear? So we use the floating point 0. This is the more common on the modern CNC machines, right? You already studied the CAD, so you know the transformation, right? You remember the transformation or not?
Yes, sir.
Right? So what we do on a CNC machine, suppose this is the machine table, right? So X, Y, Z are 3 are there. So I put my workpiece here, clear? And say this is 0. Clear? So I need not to always put at the machine 0. Fixed kind of 0, this is the fixed position. But in a floating 0, what is going to happen? I can put the workpiece somewhere on the table, and I can tell my machine this is the 0 position. So what it helped me when I was writing the part program, I need not to worry about where is the machine 0. I can just remember the part drawing, write the part program, load on the CNC machine, and tell this is the 0. So accordingly, all my dimensions will be accepted by the machine and transformed with the machine 0. So that is known as the floating 0. Here power cut. If I disconnected, if power not comes in next 10 minutes, then just please be in the meeting. Somebody would be the host. I will rejoin as soon as the power resumed. Right now, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So let us continue till then. Right. So this is the floating 0. Okay. The part programmer can decide where the 0 point should be located. Right. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now we come to the absolute mode and incremental mode. You all already done a course. You know the incremental mode and absolute mode. What we do in the incremental mode? Suppose this is my canvas. This is 0, 0. And this is the first point. This is the second point. Third point somewhere. Okay. So I know its coordinator is x1, y1, right? Absolute mode, x2, y2, again absolute mode, right? But in case of incremental mode, what we do, this the second point, first point, second point, and third point. Second point will always be measured with reference to the first point. So this will become incremental, right? Means wherever I am, I will consider I am at the origin and I will be moving to some other point, right? So see what has happened in the absolute mode. Distance moved are relative to the program 0. Means wherever we have mentioned the 0. Incremental, the distance moved relative to the current position, right? So suppose your tool is reached to the x1, y1, then with reference to y, this will become x and this will become y. Clear? Previous position. Again, see absolute mode. What the absolute mode will tell, to what position does the tool move, right? On which position tool has to move. And what it will happen in the incremental mode, how far does the tool move, right? How much distance the tool has to travel. That will be in the incremental mode. Is that clear? Any doubt? Arpita?
No, sir, no doubt.
Okay. So say absolute positioning again. Tool locations are always defined in relation with the 0 point. Incremental, next tool location must be defined with reference to the previous tool location, or you can say the current location. Okay.
Does it mean we'll be giving the difference of x2 and x1 and y2 and y1?
Right. Look at this. See if this is the position. The current location is at 4, 5. Next location is 6, 8. Clear? So if we are in absolute position, what we will write? 6 and 8. Right? If we are in incremental position, what we will write? We will write in the delta. Clear? So delta x, delta y. Difference. Right? Look at this. If we have this table, x-axis, y-axis, for example, point number 1, point number 2. See, absolute mode. You will write x11, right? Incremental mode also x11. Now what about point 2? Absolute mode, what we will write? x2, y1. Is that clear? But in case of incremental mode, what we will write? X will be 1, y will be anyone?
0.
0.
Very fine. Now look at this, the third point. What would be the position in absolute mode and incremental mode?
Absolute will be
Both
3.
one, x1
One,
and
one.
y1
1.
in incremental mode.
Sorry, absolute. First absolute mode.
Absolute, it will be x3 and y2.
Okay. And incremental mode?
It will
Both
be
one.
x1, y1.
Fine. Very fine. Clear? Fourth point.
Sir, so we will be able to choose between these two modes when we are writing.
Yes, yes. When if it is available, this facility is available on the machine, we can choose. Even within the program itself, we can switch over, right? Suppose some program is we are making and we want to exploit the symmetry of the part program, right? Suppose some drilling operation is going, our riveting plate is there and you need to drill the number of holes, right? So you know every hole will be after 2.5 millimeter. After 2.5 millimeter, the hole is there, right? So we can choose incremental mode within the part program itself. So half of the program or portion of a part program can be in absolute mode and some portion of the program can be in incremental mode, right? We can switch over within the program itself. Right? And you can understand what might be happening behind the screen in that case, right? Simple transformation. See the fourth point, fifth point, make your guess.
4, 4. Yes.
Fifth point, right? Sixth point, you see reverse. See, incremental case, it will be 1 minus 2. 7. Okay. Now come to the next part, the manual program, right? So you can have the manual programming like this. We can tell to the controller by for program by writing the manual part programming, right? So it can be done in online, even on the machine controller itself. We can also do it offline by sitting in our office. We can write our part program, and we can, using pen drive, USB drive, RS-232 cable, etc. we can upload on the CNC machine, right? And this kind of NC part program manuscript has been used like this. So I have already mentioned the process planning sheet, right? The N number, G code, X position, Y position, Z means first you prepare the process plan sheet. I have mentioned in the flow chart. Then you can prepare a NC part program manuscript like this. N code, G code, X code, Y, Z, I, J, K, F, S, T, M. Suppose somewhere nothing, so you can put the nil mark, right? And you can like this, the part drawing, the NC part program manuscript would be there, right? Then we start, after this manuscript, we start writing the part program. Clear? So if we comes to the language, right now there is no standard NC programming language, but the G&M code is the widely accepted G&M code programming language, right? So every machine manufacturer have his own language with minor variations, not much, right? So the closest standard is the G&M code, right? Now here you see the each word composed of letters, just like our sentences. This is known as the block of command, or we can say the logical block of command, right? So this command, this complete line until you put a semicolon here, right, or the enter simply to close this line, this will be read in the CNC buffer, this, and all instructions are merged, and this information will be converted into a useful information. Means where to move, at what speed it has to move, which tool it has to move, right? After that, the CNC machine will execute. Okay, so these are called CNC words, and this is the logical block of information, just like our sentence. Okay, so you have the word, alphabets, and then sentence, right? So see, this we have all, this slide you have already gone through the G&M code words, NG, XYZ, IJK, FSTRM, and the sequence word, then G code. We will go the huge list of the G code words. You see, I was talking about these three, 40, 41, 42, right? In the cutter compensation. So this we will take both lathe and milling. In case of lathe, it will be a tool nose radius compensation, and in case of the milling, it will be a tool radius compensation, right? Then feed, etc., inch per minute or inch per revolution, etc., right? Now come to the various G codes. Just let me check. I think one slide is missed. Okay, fine. Look at this, the various G codes. You can make your own notes, but some brief G codes you should remember. So see, for the, we will discuss each and every code in little detail, but you see 00, positioning rapid traverse, means without using the feed rate, your machine will travel with its full speed, right? Then G01, the linear interpolation, it will move with the feed rate. G02, circular interpolation. So 2 and 3, clockwise and anti-clockwise. 4 is the dwell, means in between somewhere, if required, we can stop the machine for milliseconds. Means everything will be on, but only your tool will be stopped for a few milliseconds. Then the plane selection, X, Y, Z, ZX, YZ, whatever the plane we want to do the machining. Then longitudinal turning cycle, thread cutting cycle, face turning cycle. We will again discuss the cycle means for what purpose these cycles are designed, right? Then G28, very important, return to the reference point. Somewhere the machine reference point is fixed, right? So anytime in between the part program, we may require to send this to the CNC machine back to the position, our reference point, right? Then thread cutting, cancel radius compensation, 41, 42. So cutter radius compensation left and right, and then 40 will cancel it. Then 70, 71 inch data and metric data, whether you are entering all the dimensions means you are writing the part program, or whatever the coordinates you are giving, they are in the inch or in the millimeter, right? Then we come to the G codes for turning. Further, see 72 finishing cycle, 73 stock removal in facing, pattern repeating. So these are the canned cycles, means perform many instructions will be performed by one code. Okay, we will come in detail about this. Now look at this 9091, absolute programming and incremental programming. Right, within the part program, if you mention G90, your part program will run in absolute mode, and if you mention G91, the next instruction will be in an incremental mode, and after a few lines you can again come back to the 90, right? So this is the 90 and 91, absolute programming and incremental programming, right? Then 92, the coordinate system, feed per minute or feed per revolution, right? 96, constant cutting speed, 97, direct spindle speed, and 98, return to the initial cycle, return to withdrawal plane. So some we can skip because our we have a limited time duration, so we will not go use all the G codes, but some basic G codes we need to use in our program, right? Okay. If you have any doubt, please ask here.
Yes, sir. On the previous slide, just
This one.
yes, sir. This, what is this blockwise effective in written plus?
You see here where we mentioned this plus, this is the blockwise effective, means wherever you mention, this will be effective only in that block. G00, this is the initial history. When you switch on the machine, this will be by default, not the linear interpolation or circular or something. If you switch off your machine, you reboot the machine, this is the initial position. G04 means block. You are writing a part program, and in which line, which block you mention G04, this will be effective only in that block. Next line, it will automatically switch off, right?
Okay, okay.
Similarly, okay, let me also explain you the group. Is it clear for everyone? That is the meaning of the
Sir, one more thing. That G90, that star one for absolute programming. That also will be mentioned on the first.
This
we have to.
This is initial, not the blockwise.
No. Actually, I'm asking. We have to mention it on the first at the initial point after G00.
Previous slide.
No. I'm asking. We have to write this particular G90 code after G00 at the first.
No, need not. Whatever you start, you can start. No problem. G00 is not required. I will write a program for you. Then you will see. I will explain you one program. So we will start some say preparatory code before giving the tool movement. We will mention whether I am writing in absolute programming or incremental, right? Or inch mode or metric mode, or constant cutting speed or constant RPM. So like few things we at the start of the machine, we will tell to the machine, or we will write in the part program.
Okay, sir.
See, I think this is a group. You just read only this, because whatever the machine we installed in our lab, we have Okuma and Emco machine. So in Emco machine will come with 3 set of commands, A, B, C. We can choose any one, A, B, or C, right? So there are minor difference in these codes. Right now we are running our machine with this C group, right? C category. So there might be some difference, like for example, this line you can see there is a difference. So we are following this at this moment, right? So one thing, and here is the group. You see here, this is the group 0. Group means we can use any one G code in a one block, any one, right, from this. Okay, so see second group. Group number 1, you look at this, you see this is making a group up to this point. Clear? You ask me for G00 in a one block, one line of the part program, either I can put G00, either G01, either G02, either G03, or 20, 21, 24 or 30. So leave it. These are at later stage we are used as a canned cycle, but look at this, the basic function. Clear? It is simply understand. We cannot say machine rapid traverse means dodna, linear traverse slowly, cautiously walk, or in circular interpolation clockwise, or circular interpolation counterclockwise. Anyone, na? Machine cannot perform all these 4 in a one instruction, right? And
So they are
one block means one complete set of information, right? So either we will say in that block to the machine rapid traverse, either the linear interpolation, either the circular. Yes, Arun.
So these are contradictory operations which cannot be done at a single point of time. So they have proved all those.
This is in group, so any one you can select in one line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, sir. So it cannot be used, means G00 and 01 cannot be used simultaneously.
Yes, right. That is the only thing, right? So that's why they are in a group. Similarly, you see here 96 and 97, constant cutting speed and RPM, right? Constant cutting speed means, you see here, if this is the workpiece, and suppose I have to cut this taper cut. So what is going to happen? Here the diameter is different and here the diameter is different, right? So if I calculate the linear velocity, this will be higher at this point and it will be less at this point, because the diameter is less here, diameter is clear. So the linear velocity, tangential velocity you can say, would be higher here, tangential velocity will be less here for same RPM. Suppose it is moving at 100 RPM, right? So for 100 RPM, here 100 RPM, here also 100 RPM, but here the tangential velocity will be higher because this radius is higher. Clear? So when you put the constant cutting speed, what it will do? It will keep on slowing the RPM, changing the RPM when your tool is moving from this point to this point. Clear? Because when your tool is moving here, what will happen? The cutting speed will keep on increasing. So it will reduce the RPM. That is the meaning of the cutting speed. But it is available with most modern CNC machines, not in the ordinary machines, right? So any one, right? Now come to 3. See 9091, either absolute, either incremental. You can give the feed either per minute, either per revolution. You can also give either the inch data or metric data, right? You can either give the cutter radius compensation left or right or cancel it, right? So any one from this group. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Similarly here, you can leave these code we may not be using in our part program at this moment. Okay, now come back again, see the F code. You remember the feed rate. and G0, 1, 2, 3 we will give in the same block, either in the same block, either in the before this feed code. Then S code, the speed, right? Then T code, the tool number. Actual tool change will occur only with the M code. Then M code miscellaneous operations. Let us see the next slide in detail of M code. See, only the selective I have made it here. So remember the few codes: program stop conditional, program end. Here this important M3, M up to 5. Spindle on, spindle clockwise, anti-clockwise, and spindle off. Then coolant on, coolant off. Right? Some we can leave. Then again come to M30, program end. Right? Then the sub program call M98, M99. We can call the sub program and we can go back to the main program. Is it okay for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I just see only 2 or 3 replies. Not many people are responding. If it is going beyond your understanding, we can make it more light.
Sir, I think after doing few coding, we can remember these things.
Coding, okay. So let me show you. Okay, just switch over. Okay, so instead of going to the rapid traverse, I think let go with few more program. Then we will come back to the CNC simulator. Okay, let me run a program on CNC simulator, so you can have a changeover. Where is the CNC simulator? Yeah. Can you see my CNC simulator screen? Can you see a CNC machine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So with the mouse, you can move it out. You can rotate it, right? With right click, you can position it. With scroll wheel, you can zoom it, right? You see here. Let me run this program. Can you see on the right hand side? This is what I am said for the second evaluation. A drawing will be given to you. You need to develop a part program, write the part program, show me the simulation. Clear? Here is the part program. This part program you need to write. Clear? This part program you need to write. Clear? You can run one by one also from a step simulation. See from here, step 1 line. See the part is added. Okay. Can you see here on the top, the lathe machine I have selected, the millimeter I have selected, the registry embedded part 3 we have added, the part name was PKJ, the workpiece, right? I have created. I will show you again this, how I have created, okay? Then G98, Z178, automatically it gives me. Then from here I have mentioned G28, U0, W0, M06, T1. Now you start understanding M03, what does it mean? Can anyone respond? What this M03? We just recently discussed. M03, just we have discussed the spindle on.
Spindle clockwise.
Yes.
Spindle
The S code, S1200 RPM, M08, coolant on, G00, rapid traverse, to which point X82 Z1. Then if I am not mentioning that, it will follow G00, right? Then X78 Z0, then G01. Look at this. Please try to understand this coordinate geometry one by one. Okay. Let us run this program. Let me run first and then we will start again one by one. Okay. Now let us run again. First see, lathe machine, millimeter, part added. This line is going to be executed now. I click, so this is executed, right? The datum is shifted. You see the datum is shifted here over. This is for datum shifting. then G28, right? Now if I click, it will go to the reference G28, right? Tool went to its home position. Now tool T1, right? Then M03. Now look at this here on the bottom side, the F is 0, S is 0, T is 1, X is 100, Z is 2. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
On the bottom line. Let me move to the next line. So M08, coolant on. Okay. Then now see next line. I said, now this I will, now once I click, this will be executed, right? So X82, Z1. See the tool movement, right? Now let us zoom. Okay. See this location. Okay. Now let me move to the next line. So now X78, Z0 will be executed. Okay. Can you see? This workpiece I have taken for 80 diameter and I think 140. Yes, 140 length. Right?
I have a question. So how
Yes, Kunal.
you have written a indented like the X78 is written with a tab. So is there having any meaning of that? Like
X78, this na? No, this tab is nothing. Don't worry. This tab is nothing. And if I have not mentioned G code, it will follow the previous code. That was the meaning when we discussed the blockwise effective. G0 was not in the blockwise. So once I put the G00, until I put any other code which over space this G code from the same group, it will be active. So you remember G00, G01, G02, G03 and few canned cycles. They are in the same group. So if I mention G00, until I put G01 or 2 or 3, G00 will be active. Right? Machine until means you see the gear. It is kind of gear. I have put the machine in the reverse gear, say for example. Right? So unless I change the gear, it will be in the same gear.
So the meaning of these two lines is first it was moving at 82 and 1 and then it started from 78 and 0. So basically the starting point was 78 and 0.
Yeah.
If we
So yes,
remove the first line, it will not change.
we have taken this diameter is 80. Okay. Look at this in this view. Right? This diameter of the workpiece was 80. Okay. Once I start a new program, I will tell you how to set the workpiece. Okay. Machine setup. So we started 82. We kept the tool as 82 Z1. This is Z0. You remember? So this is Z0. So we have kept away. Right? Now we have moved to X78 Z0. Now this is the next line is going to be executed. Everyone predict what is going to happen with this line. G01, X78, and now you see here, till now feed is 0, speed is 12. Because before this, there is no feed. And your machine is at X78, Z0. Your tool is at X78, Z0. Now I am executing the next line. See X78, Z minus 100, F60.
Sir, F60 is feed 60.
Feed 60.
Feed means
Feed rate. At what rate this tool will move? That is the feed.
okay.
Okay. So this is the feed rate for this tool. We have mentioned here the 60 mm per minute. Since we have already taken mm, right? Here in this simulator, whatever we have not mentioned in the part program, it might be taking from the default value. We can change everything. Okay. Now shall we just imagine what is going to happen if we execute this line X82 Z minus 100. Let me also put it in the same view so that
The previous position, first position.
Right? Look at this. Clear? This tool is lifted. Now remember this tool, focus on this tool location and we are going back to X82 Z1. Right? So you see the X dimension is remain same, but we are moving back to the Z1 out of the workpiece. Look at this. Clear? You see here, this is Z0 and you are at Z1. Now look at the next statement what I put here.
Question on
X74
last actually.
Z1. You just please raise hand. Let me explain the full program. I will come back. Okay. So look at this X74 Z1 F60. Okay. So look at X74. This is the diameter. See 74 Z1. Now see the next line X84 Z minus 60. Right? You remember we have reached to Z100. Right? Now this time up to minus 60. We have discussed already this side the Z is positive and towards the workpiece side this would be the Z negative. Right? We have also discussed next we are going to discuss the machine 0 and the workpiece 0. Okay. So in between I have taken the program so that you can in a less time you can simulate the things and imagine the things how machine is moving, right? And when we said the programming for CNC machining, it's very simple. It's basically the coordinate geometry, right? Now let us see the next line. This S84 Z minus 60 execute. So this is up, right? The next time we'll take it back. So we will move back. Clear? But this time I am not moving away from the workpiece. We have stopped the tool at Z equal to minus 3. And what I am trying to move in the next line, this is G01, X0, Z1. With this Z3, now the tool will move to the X0. Right? This is going to be X0. So this is the turning and this is the facing cycle. Right? So the material is removed in this direction now. Look at this. Clear? This is minus 3. Now we are moving X, we will keep same X0 and moving to the Z1. So up to this point, workpiece se bahar. Ye 0 datum dikh raha hai, right? Look at this. And then now we are writing G28 U0 W0. So tool will move to the position, its reference position. Let me unzoom it, right? So reference position somewhere here. Let me execute this line, right? Tool back. Then M05, the spindle off, right? Simulation. Then program stop and rewind. Clear? This is the way. And if I run it in continuous mode, you can see here all the lines like this. Yes. Yes, Kunal and somebody else also raised the hand. Yeah. Yes, Kunal. Arnav and Kunal.
Sir, my only one doubt is, am I audible?
हाँ, थोड़ा सा voice break हो रहा है आपका.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
So, sir,
Yes, Kunal.
so only my one question is whenever we need to go back to the original position, we need to lift the tool to the original position and only then go back to the original position. We cannot go from the same position back because there is already no feeling available in that particular shape. But is it a general practice where we go to the original position only? As I'm not from the mechanical background, I wanted to understand this.
Okay, I will come back. I will. Yes, Arnav, what is your question?
Hello. For
Yeah.
the second time, while the tool is going up to X equals to 74, you have written the feed rate with 60 on the upper line, F74, Z1, F60. So we can write F60 anywhere within this 3 line.
Yes. Anywhere, because F is effective, right? So it will be in the entire part program until you want to change it, it will be remain F60. So need not to write in each and every line or somewhere. I have intentionally put it here in 3 where I write a few lines, then I modify something like that. So I have kept it so that you will ask this question and then this point can be made clear, right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Fine. Okay. Let me go back to the slide and Kunal, please don't mind. I will ask your question after 2-3 slides. right? So
Sure, sir.
that would be better understanding for all of us, right? Now just look at that. I'm going back to the slide portion. You see, so see the rapid traverse. What this now this slide I can move fast, right? I have already explained in the program. Remember, originally the machine 0 is here. And as usual, the 5 minutes break I will give you after 5-10 minutes more. Huh? Okay, and then we will show you the machine setup. See here the machine 0, right? The datum is here. But what we are doing in our program, we are shifting this datum to this position, right? So that this will become our Z axis positive. This will become Z axis minus, right? Here is the tool. You just see the shape of this tool. Okay. Some gap here. So what we do in the rapid traverse, we can write absolute mode G91, incremental mode G91, right? And these are the UW code. If you mention anything with U and W, this will automatically go into the incremental mode. Whether you mention G90 or 91 or not, but it will automatically go into the incremental mode. So while in the writing the part program, we want some incremental move, we can use that U and W code. Otherwise, we will use X and Z for lathe machine. Right? When you write G00, what it will do? It will suppress the F. Right? If you move to the G00, it will suppress the feed rate and move with the rapid traverse available on the machine. That is G00. See G01. Linear interpolation. You see the start point, see the end point, and we want the tool to be moved from this point to this point, right? So what we will write here, you see N20 G01. Start point we are not mentioning because tool is available there. So what here to be mentioned? Always the target point. Clear? So X40, you see this X40 diameter, we are writing in diameter programming. So always we write in the X coordinate as a diameter. Okay. So X40 and Z, you see this at this moment it is 00. So the absolute value of Z will become 20.1, right? And the feed rate. So this feed rate may be the feed rate in per revolution. That's why very less. And you see if we write the same line in an incremental mode, how we write N20 G01 X20. You see, yahan, what is the diameter? 20. Here the diameter is 40 and it's an incremental. So we will write the difference only, delta X, right? And here you see at the start point, your X value is 46. At the end point, your X value is 20. So 46 minus 20.1. We will write here minus 25.9. Clear? So only the delta. This is the incremental and absolute difference. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Arun.
So here we have mentioned the G91. So even if you are mentioning X and Z, it will take only increment. Means I'm asking
Yes,
the reverse
yes,
of what you said earlier.
Yes. If you mention G91, it will take only the incremental. Right?
Even if
And
we
this
mention
is-
it as X and Z.
Pardon?
Even if we are mentioning it as X and Z, it will consider increment.
Yes. If you mention G91, whatever you X, U, W, whatever you write, it will take an incremental. And here, please note down, all this discussion we are talking in reference of the Fanuc control MCO machine, right? So if you switch over from one CNC machine to another machine, a minor check is required, right? A minor check in the various G&M code or any special instruction, if machine manual provides you, that we need to check it, right? Always for like this, like you, what if you are, even though if you are a very good driver, when you start a new car or any of your friend's car, you always make a check on the clutch, brake, right? So the minor adjustment kind of thing is always required. Okay, now come to the circular interpolation. So G02, G03 like this. How we write always? We have the start point, we have the end point, right? So here again, if I write G02, we will write X, Z, I and K. No J, remember, lathe machine. J is not there, right? Like Y is not there. Okay, so how we write the information? Let me start point, end point, and we can mention either the center, either the radius, right? If radius is known, then it's okay. Otherwise, we can mention I and K, and that is always in the incremental mode, means difference. Start point से ही calculate करेगा, right? So this is the, suppose this is the center point, right? So either we have to give this radius, either we have to read the I value and K value. So this is delta in I direction, delta in K direction, right? And in this case, you see, we have already mentioned the datum over here. So this is the circular interpolation, right? Now come to the dwell. What dwell will do? Dwell will simply, you can put the G04 somewhere you require. Suppose in between the processing is going on and you want to stop the machine for a few seconds and check some dimension, make some inspection, right? So you can stop the machine for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, or 4 seconds, something like, or even sharp corner. See like this. Clear? If your tool will go in a continuous mode from this point to this point, what will happen here? There will be a small radius, right? But if you want complete sharp corner at this, so what is required? Your tool should go up to this point, stop for milliseconds, and move in this direction. Clear? So for such typical part programming requirement, we can use the dwell, right? Now 94, 95, feed rate in minutes or feed rate in per revolution. Okay. Then cutting speed, constant cutting speed, and the constant rotational speed. So assume just we are going with constant rotational speed 97, constant RPM. Okay. Now see the G90, absolute programming and incremental programming, right? If you mention 91, then everything will become in a incremental mode. Then measuring in inches 70 and 71, right? So this code may be little different in lathe and milling. So just we have to check it before it. So 70 measuring in inches, 71 measuring in millimeter, right? But when you change this, you see here all your feed rate values, all your offset values, all your path, all your speed, etc. Everything will change, right? If you are planned for inches, so carefully you have to convert in millimeter. So this is the thing which we have to, before writing a part program, we have to plan. This is not something which you can change in between the program. Okay. Now G28, return to the reference point via the point. Whenever we mention the G28, it will go to the reference point. And if we give some point here, then what will happen? The tool will go to this point, then will go to the reference point. And this is very important. Suppose you are working on a lathe machine, right? And if you drill a center hole, right? So your tool is there inside this hole, right? And if you say G28, U0, W0, that means U0, W0 incremental and G28. So what it will do, it means wherever you are, directly go to the reference point, and your tool will go reference point in this way. What is going to happen in this situation? Anyone?
It will damage your
Yes.
workpiece.
Yes. This will damage your tool, our workpiece. So what is required? You will tell to the machine G28, say for example, this is the 60 mm. So what you will say? And U0, W, you will say, if it is in positive direction, you will say W60. So what will happen? X will remain 0 and W will be 60. So wherever it are, it will move in the positive direction by 60 mm. So the tool will come to the outside of the workpiece and then will go to the reference point. Clear? That is the meaning of G28, right? Now, before writing and the development of the program and pre-planning of the part program, okay, we can have a 5-minute break. Then we will again take you back to the CNC simulator. Okay, and then develop the part program and ask you to tell me the program. You can also plan your small program for lathe machine. I will tell you the CNC machine setup, and you should be able to write your own small part program. Okay, so have a 5 minutes break. It's 3:20, 3:26. We will start again. Okay. Everyone. Vasudev, Ayush, Arun, Kunal, Parol Singh, Neeraj, Gaurav, Arpita, Pushpender, Chinu Bhardwaj, Manu, Vinay. Switch on your videos.
So there is some issue with my camera in
Okay.
laptop.
Okay. Okay. Vikrant, Vinay. Fine. So let us move to the next part, the development of the part program and machine setup. I will show you the machine setup. Then after this class, you all please explore by your own. Take typical part, try to simulate on the CNC simulator. Okay. So let me again share first on the slides. Then we will come to the CNC simulator. Right. So now see how we start developing the part program. Pre-planning before writing the part program. We will decide the preparatory functions like which unit we are going to work, millimeter or inch, right? Then absolute or incremental, then circular interpolation plane, right? Then cutter compensation, which interpolator, linear, circular, like this. Then coordinates. 3 translation and 3 rotational coordinates we fix up on the machine and align the part, which dimension is in which direction on the CNC machine. Then machining parameters like feed, speed, depth of cut, etc. Then tool, different tools, tool numbers, tool change position, tool diameter, etc. Then cycle function, if we are using any canned cycle, then which canned cycle can be used. Then whether the coolant is required or not, so on off position. Then other miscellaneous functions like spindle off, tape rewind, spindle rotation, direction, pellet change, tool change, clamping. We can also through the program we can clamp, we can close the headstock like this, tool change on, various M functions we can use for this purpose, right? Then see the 3 axis. So we decide plus axis, plus Y and plus Z, right? This we already 6 axis designation. This along the or front of the machine we have the plus axis. This is the operator. So if you are standing over in front of the CNC machine, this will be the rotation. This is the cutting tool, this is the spindle, table. And even though table is moving, we will write the part program in all the movement that tool tip is moving, not the axis. Clear? Now we will imagine what is our workpiece. So we will place the workpiece accordingly like this, and we should know this is the x-axis of the workpiece, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. So accordingly, we start writing the part program. Okay. So first the axis designation, then 3 rotary axis, right? About the Cartesian coordinate, we have the A about x-axis, B about y-axis, C about z-axis, right? And we assume that the stepper motor or servo motor A separate stepper motor or servo motor is for each axis. That means simultaneous movement is possible. If we say one stepper motor for all three axes, that means one axis movement will occur at a time, right? Now see the program reference 0 we have to fix, right? Say this is the machine table and this is the workpiece. And on this workpiece, you are fixing this point as a 0, 0. So you know with reference to machine coordinate system, what is the coordinate of this position? Clear? So this is the machine home 0, 0 somewhere, right? This is the machine table 0 somewhere, and this is the workpiece coordinate in this respect. Okay. So we can also fix by G92 and giving this value x5, y6, z7. So your machine 0, our program 0 will shift to this point. Or else what we can do in actual practice, what we do, we will touch the tool in this position. And when this tool touches the workpiece, we press a button on the CNC machine and record this value as z equal to 0. Right? Then we touch the tool from this horizontal position like this, from this direction, and say this is the x0. Similarly, from this axis, say y equal to 0. So these three coordinate values are recorded on the CNC machine. See, machine axis system, if you talk about the machine datum, this is the machine datum, always fixed on the machine. This is the tool datum, right? But actually what is happening, we write the part program with respect to the workpiece datum. Clear? So we shift this datum to this position. Clear? And always we calculate this difference from the work datum to the tool datum. Just like you studied already in the CAD portion, the transformation, right? So this is the axis system on the CNC machine system, and we write the part program always with reference to this. Now look at this. When we start developing the part program, we need to calculate the path. So this is the path we are going to follow. This is the, geometry of the workpiece. So our tool will move in this position, right? So we know the cutter radius. Clear? And suppose here the cutter radius we take is 0.5. Okay. Then you see if this position is 0, 0. So our tool should be in this position. What would be the coordinate of point A? Anyone? This is our 0, 0.
0, 0 minus 0.5.
Clear? So you will have minus 0.25 minus 0.5 because this diameter is, cutter rate. In that case, I should put here. Cutter radius is 0.25. So our tool will be here. So like our tool will be here. So 0.25 in this direction, 0.25 in this. Then we will move. What will be the coordinate of point B? X will remain, X will remain at 0.25 and Y would be 2.25.
0.25.
This is your Y axis. This is your X axis. So you are remain at 0.25, but here you reach to 0.25. Okay. Then you are moving to point C. So what would be the coordinate of point C?
Y will be 2.25, same as these. X will be
3.25, 2.25, right? And the point D.
Yes.
So first thing you understand, this is the profile of your workpiece, but your tool path is different in case of milling because of the cutter radius. Similarly, it can be different for taper turning in case of turning operations on lathe machine. Right? Look it on this, the blue color inside. This is the part to be made, right? You see here from this, like this. So this red color would be the path, right? And then we need to calculate the point number P1, point number P2, and point number P3 somewhere. And this point also P3, this point P4, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 points for this contour we need to calculate, right? You see here, this coordinate is given x4, y4, z0. Clear? So what would be this point P1? Right? You see here the calculation says point P1 would be x 3.75 and y 3.396. Clear? So you see here, ये shift कितना चाहिए था? Cutter diameter is 0.5. So radius 0.25. So you have shifted this line to 0.25. So your x will be, this distance is 0.25. So this point, x at this point is 4. So at this point, x would be 3.75. Right? This 3.7. Now y, right? This point, how much down you have to go? So you have to calculate on this triangle. Trigonometry will come into picture to calculate this point P1. Right? Your software can do it. Right? So your software can solve it, or you can develop your own program to calculate such things. See, for this circle as well. Here you can solve the equation of this straight line and this circle. Clear? So you can calculate this point. Tool will come up to this point, then start from here the circular interpolation up to this point, and then again go with the linear interpolation to move on. So this is the path going for your tool, right? But you need to calculate in this way. Then once you complete all these points calculation, you see, we can also directly get it from the software. These are the points for the tool path, and these were the point for the part geometry, right? Look at this, how our first part program will look like. If we write this part program, this is the geometry, right? So we will put N10, F60, 400, M03 tool stop, then G01, X 3.75 by 3.96. First point we were calculated. Then G01 by 9.25. G05, G01, G03, the circular interpolation. I, J. Or we can put the radius also. So this would be the endpoint for G03. Then G01, again move, then X0, Y0. So look at this. This you are going to follow in this. Right? This path you have generated here from this. Right? Now look at this. If we write a simple part program, linear interpolation, take carefully. See here, this is the part program. Can you see the simulation? We put here N10, G71, the first line. So what does it mean? Millimeter mode. G97 we put here, constant RP RAM. Then G94 we put here, feed in the millimeter per minute. Now machine is ready to operate. That is the meaning. Okay. Then look at the second line. What does it mean? Any one of you? Ayush Shukla. What is the meaning for this N20? Gaurav Dubey.
Sorry, sir, I cannot recollect.
Kunal, what is the meaning for this second N20?
Is going into the next code and going to the home position.
मैंने लिखा भी है, go to home position. Pushpender, N30.
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning N30? Everyone look at the part program. We already have done
Sir,
that.
actually, we have to check this encode all. Actually, we have not taken the screenshot.
Sir, use for rotation.
Tool change, tool number 5, N40. Okay, go through it. I will upload this slide and even for the next slide. So you just go through these slides and memorize some basic five.
We need to remember all these.
5 M codes and at least 5 G codes. That will serve your purpose, not more than that. Right? See M08, the coolant on. Now we are writing N60, G00, X40, Z1. Clear? This diameter is 40. This Z is 100. So this 40 and we are writing X42, Z1. So your tool will reach to this position, this line. Clear? Then next line you are writing X39. So your tool will reach up to this point. Is it okay? Then we write here next Z minus 50. Right? 42 and then this cutting will take place. Okay. So let us, what we do, we will go to the CNC simulator back and write this program. Okay. And then similarly, what we can do.
Sir, can you show the screen of the encodes, N and M codes?
Just leave it. I will upload after this class. Just because I wanted to show you the CNC simulator back. Clear? This is the linear interpolation. This is the circular interpolation. So you can put the radius as well in this way, and you can cut the material. Right? Let me come back to the CNC simulator with this. So instead of doing on this, let us do it on CNC simulator. This slide, okay? Similar to this slide, we make a program, okay? You can see my screen, the CNC simulator on the back side.
Yes, sir.
Fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. Right?
How to add object, like that is also, we can also practice side by side.
Okay, now this time I will start with a new program. Okay, so let us go to this. Can you see this file I have opened? I hope you are able to see my entire desktop, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I am not
Yes,
showing this program. This was already there. Let us write a new program. Okay, so let us go to this, not load machine wizard. Open. Oh, कहाँ चला गया? New CNC program wizard. Okay. Everyone?
Yes, sir.
So new CNC program, save changes? No. Okay. Now look at this. It is asking me, welcome to the new CNC program wizard. So let us start next. Right? Turning or milling. Right? What we have discussed in the pre-planning. Right? So see, turning or milling. So let us turning. Next. Do you want to use embedded tools and workpieces? We can say yes, or we can define our own workpiece as well. Right? Or we can add our workpiece. So let us go with this. Yes, we will define later. Okay. Now this is the workpiece. You see here 1 of 15. Demo part 1, diameter this. So let me go to second, third, fourth, fifth, like this. Not in use, not in use, not in use. Right? These are there. 1. So outer dia 75, length 162. Right? Or else I will go back and we say, no, thank you. I want to use my own. Let me see. Do you want to create a new workpiece? Okay. So let me say, I want to select one already created. No, I will say yes. Okay. Go back. So workpiece name, let me say PKJ2 workpiece name. The diameter for this workpiece, we want to have a 40, right? And the length for this workpiece, we wanted 100. Okay. Inner diameter 0. Material we want to put, or just you can just leave it. For simulation purpose, we don't require. Okay. Next. Then do you want to move the 0 point to the right side of the workpiece? You see this right side. Clear? This we want, right? I have already explained what is the meaning of it. So let us put yes. Okay, next. Now, do you want to include sample subprogram? No, we don't. I mean, right now we have not studied the subprogram, so just say no. Then please enter the final program data, program name PKJ, the program number, let us put 2, and the inches are millimeter. Okay, so let us go with millimeter. Okay, now done. Can you see on the right hand side, you got the editor. Here you can got the controller as well. I will show you this program on the controller also. I forget to show you earlier. So come back to editor. Now we can write our program here. Look at this, what it said, G92 Z78. Why Z78? I have put 100 now. Okay, something else there. Just leave it. Replace with first tool. Okay, acha, headstock is there mounted. So G78. M6, right. Okay. Now just we forget because this first line we have already set up. Can you see on the CNC simulator backside, the PPT slide is also visible to you?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this first line is already done. First line is
What-
already done. Let us put G28, go to reference point U0. Sorry. Caps lock ही put करता हूँ W0. Okay, let us put semicolon. Even in this not required, just we can move to the next line. Okay, then we want to change the tool or do it or just leave it. Okay, go with by default tool or just say put M6T1. Okay, so you see here the lot of tool list is coming. Left hand roughing tool, left hand finishing tool like this. Okay, so let me T1, left hand roughing tool. Okay, done. Tool change done. Okay, then you see we can put the spindle on. So let us put M03. Okay, let us put spindle RPM 1200. Right, you see the syntax is color change in there. Okay, then let us put the first. Okay, M08 spindle on we put karte hain. Oh sorry, coolant on we kar dete hain. Okay, then next the first. So let us put G00. Okay, X42 what we were decided and Z1. Okay, done. Now we write the next. You want to put G00 or just put the X40. So let us cut diameter programming. So let us take a 1 millimeter cut. Okay, plan for 2 millimeter cut. Is it okay? 2 millimeter cut means next your billet size is 40. So the next 1 millimeter depth of cut, the billet will become 38. 38. Okay, and leave it Z1. Okay, then now put G01 so that the cutting will start. Okay, then we put X remain 38, and how long we want to go, Z minus 50. Is it okay for everyone? And now we need to put feed rate. Okay, so let me put this time 40. So cut is taken. Now we will move the tool up. So G01. Here the Kunal has asked the question, why we are taking up, why we cannot go back to the triangle. So let me go back to the triangle. So let me put X42 and Z1. See what has happened. Okay. One cut. Okay. Just leave it, keep it one cut up. Okay. Now we will run the program. Okay. Now let me zoom it. Savita, I will call back you. I am still in my class. Hello. In which office? Are you in Dean office? You ask them, come to the core lab office. Please
Sir, you are on mute.
Now look at this position. Clear? And now if we zoom it, you remember, see, this is the taper. So this has happened. Clear? So this is the case. Now see, the first cut we have taken, we have set up the machine, everything, right? We can see here in the step-by-step mode as well.
How to execute it?
Just you see on the bottom side, there are some buttons, simulation. Can you see like multimedia buttons are there on the bottom
Okay,
side? So one by one, step-wise, you can see here. Right, this is at the reference position. Now it went to the reference position somewhere, right? Now let us zoom. Okay, so the first cut tool is spindle speed. You see, accordingly now it will become S1200. Next line, okay. See here, this is the Z1 X42, right? The next line remain X38 Z1. See down. The next line, is it going to execute X38 Z minus 50? Right? This is lifting up. It is not lifted, you triangularly take it back. Right? So in this way, now we can add some more lines if you want here. Clear? Now 41, you come back. Now you can go again with G00, right? You can go to X38 we have taken. Now you can put say X36, again 1 millimeter cut, and write Z1. Okay, then you take the cut G01. So you can again put X36, but Z minus, we are first cut minus 50. So second cut minus 50. Right, then we can move back G00 X 42 are now, since 36 we already have removed the material, so we can put 38 Z1, right, like this. Now let us run the program. So this time 2 cut. Clear? Now we can give any dimension for your evaluation purpose. Since this course is for numerical control, along with this theory, we understand what does it mean with this part program. So simple coordinate geometry would be there, and you need to follow that coordinate geometry for lathe and milling. Someone would be asked for the milling, someone would be asked for the lathe machine, right? So accordingly, you need to identify the part geometry, go for the pre-planning, selection of the axis, selection of the feed rate, speed, etc. Mention this proper calculation on your note sheet, then write the G&M code and simulate on the machine. Is it okay for everyone? It's so simple. The CNC simulator software is with you. You can download, you can install it, and you can simulate in this.
Sir, I'm getting an error. Program is made for machine type any lathe.
Yes. Where you write the same program or not?
I wrote the same program.
Okay. So I think in the setup itself, you might have changed something, or you might have tried to copy paste something. But you see, in front of you, I have run the
default machine is of milling. So from bottom, there is a button just below. You need to change the machine to execute this program. Just below, beside that, two positions beside that. Yeah,
this
beside
one.
that as well.
Open machine. Now you can open this machine. So this will open the machine dialog box, and you can select the machine. Say for example, turning. You have these 5 machines, right? Can you see this screen as well?
Yes, sir.
So you can have this turning center. You can select this turning, right? Save changes to current CNC, no. And this is opening a default program already stored with this machine, right? You see here the use part program is there. You can also run this program. Oh, I have not saved that program. You see here on this. This is what you need to write. Let me zoom it. You can see here how the workpiece is running. You see the different tools are there. So left hand cutting, right hand cutting, both are taking places. Lot of online help is also available for this software and many other things. Okay. So I think with this we can close the today's class.
So can you share this slide actually?
I will share all the slides. Okay, give
If
me
you
some
have
time.
some reference
Maybe
program that-
tonight or tomorrow morning for today's session, even next, all 3 sessions I will share. So for milling portion, you can before and go through the slides. So it will give you the better understanding, and I will be able to clear your doubts.
Sir, if you have any more additional files on milling for the software, you can also share. We can see on that.
Software not, I can share the machine manuals. The software, the lot of help is already available. You just go to the CNC simulator. First you install it, na? The lot of help is already there. You see in this, go to help, online help. You can go many things like from here, right? So please explore all these things. Even this software is very good. You can have a DXF file. You can import the DXF file and you can run the part program. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine. You just go through it. If any more doubt, we will clear in the next class, right? Next class, we will start from the milling part programming. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.